Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Jordan Evans in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Third and long for Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Finding room to the 20. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Brandon Mebane getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a Gordon. Loses the football. It's loose. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To the left side here for Eifert. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
So out come the Chargers. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination, but they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much... They practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now Gordon on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime. And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do. Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. He completes it to Boyd. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes. Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. No, a nifty juke there. Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain,
still second down.
Not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw again. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
3rd and long, dare we say 3rd and a mile. Pass rushers in sprinter stances, they know they've got a chance to get after him on this play. And somehow he finds a way past them, gets away, and takes off and picks up a first down. Can you believe it? Wow.
Watch it now, Barney!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Now Austin Eckler on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check, Patriot!
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And there he goes again. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They're going to look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Rivers now going up top. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football.
I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he?
Second down, Rivers. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been back now in Cincinnati. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal. But now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Again, it's Mixon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They go play action here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Denzel Perryman in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Returning, it's Benjamin. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 37. A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Rivers now on 2nd down. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting up to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before you can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Brandon Mebane in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Benjamin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. They'll look to throw. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22. Back to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down. He's back to throw. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. It's the fullback in the final minute, and the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll drop the throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He'll look to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he gets it down to the 32. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So it all comes down here to the right foot of Randy Bullock. This to book a trip to the AFC title game. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. Well, sometimes you get a mismatch in these divisional round games. Not here. This has been everything we could have hoped for.
Okay, Brandon, don't get mad at me, but it's time for the old cliche.
Bring it.
Neither of these teams deserves to lose, but in the end, it's looking like the late field goal is going to be the difference in this game.
That's a good cliche. We'll let that one go. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.